The water temp today is a pleasant 54.6 degrees. Well, I found myself back up in Idaho on some other business, so I have the wife. We're here on the St. Joe River in the panhandle of Idaho looking for cutthroats. We were driving, took a little break, and this little riffle was right here, this little bend right on the road, so we're like, we gotta set up the rods and start fishing here, even though this isn't where we thought we would start to fish. Super fishy run right here. Hopefully we can get into some right here. Oh, just saw one rise. Oh, saw another riser. It was like right where I just cast to. So they're in here. Oh, still there. Dude, I'm putting a dry on. Not yet. Just got on the water though. How about you guys? What's that? Same. First time on the river, so I don't. It's a learning process. Am I? I'm sorry. We've seen them rising.
No, they're wonderful. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I can't complain. Moved up the river a ways, and getting out of the car, there were a bunch of hoppers in the grass, so I don't know, try hopper dropper out here. It's kind of a knee depth riffle through a bunch of rocks. It's kind of like a giant riffle, and there are these giant orange caddis. I guess you'd call them October caddis, laying eggs on the surface. So if I don't get anywhere with this hopper dropper, I might switch to that. Switch back to a 2-fly on an indicator. The hopper could keep it afloat through here. And this water seems super fishy. Yeah, like right there. Oh, come on. Oh, that was such a good drift. I'm gonna work my way over this tree. Got a fish! It's barely moving. What is this thing? Come take a close look at it. This reel sucks. The drag just completely open. High sticking and mending it. It's not quite in the lane where I got the last one. It's alright.
Screwed that up.
See if you can get it to stay in that shady strip just to the right of that. Oh. Is that a caddis, that big orange thing? I've seen them landing, laying eggs. I think it's an October caddis. Hey, I'm back in the studio in California again. I found myself up in northern Idaho, so of course we had to go fish some new water. We headed up to the St. Joe in search of West Slope cutthroats again, and we managed to find them. The road follows the river up the canyon, so there's numerous opportunities to get down to the water and fish wherever you see a spot. There were fish rising in that first run, but we couldn't get them on nymphs or on dry, so we headed further up the river where we managed to find what we were looking for. They were tucked around rocks and on a downed tree on the opposite bank. We were using a 2-nymph setup under an indicator, relatively shallow at about 24 inches below the indicator. I tried a bunch of nymphs, but the size 14 sexy Walt's worms was the clear winner. I was hoping to do a little more sight fishing in that low clear water, but I broke my polarized glasses on the last trip and was running a backup pair that wasn't polarized. So seeing shapes below the surface was tough. And frankly, that's just a sad excuse because I rarely see the fish with the right glasses anyway. I just need more practice. I love the water up there. It is so different than in NorCal. The rivers are wide and flat bottomed, so the flows are moving slower and there's less structure. So stealth and great presentations are a must. This also makes it much easier to wade into the water where you have more room to make big loops and cast real far. So next week I'm heading to the Eastern Sierras, and in the meantime, if you'd like to see more from this area, please check out my last trip where I hit the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene River and the Little North Fork. Until then, everybody, Godspeed.